Sales is often regarded as the most valuable skill you can ever learn, and that's because you can use it in so many different areas of your life, whether it's business or dating or politics, whatever it is. So I want to share with you some of the knowledge I've built up over the last decade working in sales, product management, and strategic marketing. And I promise I'm not trying to sell you anything with these videos. I really just want to share with you what worked for me in the hope that it works even better for you. So, let's get going. So in this first video, we're going to talk about the basics of selling, and then we're going to move on in later videos to talk about different types of selling, overcoming objections, closing, and much more. But in this first video, in the basics video, I want to cover 3 points. I want to talk about why selling is important and really hammer that point home. And I want to cover what is selling truly. Right? Lots of people, you would be amazed how many people do not actually understand what selling is, even people who've been in sales for a long time. They don't understand the essence of selling. And it's really important that you understand this because this forms the foundation upon which all other sales training is built. Okay, so I'm going to focus on this, and then I'm going to finish off by talking about the classic example of sell me this pen, right? I know this is a cliche, but it really is good at illustrating point number 2. So let's start. Why are sales so important? Well, from a business standpoint, sales is the only part of the company that actually brings in money. Okay, you think about finance or marketing or R&D, right? They all take money away from the company. Sales is the only part that brings money into the company, and therefore it is extremely valuable and it's very highly valued by the company. Which means that if you're good at sales and you're responsible for bringing in the money to the company, you have a huge amount of leverage at your company, which means that you can ask for pay rises, you can ask for working remotely or slightly different hours. You can put in these requests, and because you have so much leverage, you're more likely to get a yes from the company. So it's a very valuable skill. On top of that, the top salesperson, it is not unusual for the top salesperson to be the highest paid person in the company. I remember a couple of years ago, I was moving into a different part of sales at my previous company, and I was talking to the CEO, and he said that if I became the highest paid person in the company, then he would be happy. Right, the CEO said he would be happy if someone else was the highest paid person in the company. And the reason for this is that sales is the only part that brings money into the company. And the salespeople are paid on commission, right? Mostly commission. So if the salesperson is the highest paid employee, that means that they're getting a lot of commission, which means that they're selling a lot of products. And if they're selling a lot of products, that's a lot of money coming into the company. So it's win-win. The company wins and the salesperson wins, okay? So this is a really cool point. This is why selling is so cool. If you want to be the highest paid person in the company, sales is a pretty good way to go. And it is, as I say, it's not unusual top salesperson to be the highest paid person in the company. Now, from a personal standpoint, sales is an extremely useful skill to have because you can use it in all areas of life, right? Whether it's business, you can use it in dating, you use it in interviews to get new jobs, all sorts of different areas. And if you get good at sales, it builds this confidence in you, which again is useful in all other areas of life. Confidence is always so important. So sales is just a great skill to have. It gives you leverage, it improves your life. But what is selling truly? Okay? Most people think that selling is persuading a customer to buy a product, right? They imagine the shiny suit wearing secondhand car salesman. Right? They're almost tricking the customer into buying something. But some of the best salespeople I've met, they are not the flashy suit wearing secondhand car salesman. They are very logical. They're not fazed by anything. They just think through the steps. They are normally the best salespeople. And that's because, selling is not persuading a customer to buy a product. And this is a really common mistake. You would be amazed how many people do not understand this point. Even people who've been in sales for decades, some of them still don't get this point, okay? Selling is solving a problem in exchange for money, basically, okay? Think of all the best products in the world, right? Your phone. What problem does this solve? The problem that if someone is 20 miles away, you can't talk to them. Well, now you can with your phone, right? It solves a problem, okay? This is the key to selling, and this is the foundation upon which all sales training is built upon. So really try and get this deep, because this is so important. Now, to illustrate this point, there is the classic example of sell me this pen. Okay, so based on what I shared on the previous page about solving a problem in exchange for money, how would you now sell the pen? Okay, most people begin by talking about the pen. This is a great pen. It feels really good in my hand. It writes 20,000 words a minute, right? It's a fantastic pen. It's the cheapest pen on the market. It's George Clooney has this pen, right? All this type of stuff. But that is not selling, because you're talking about a solution, but it might not be the solution for that customer, because you don't know what the problem is yet. You haven't uncovered what the problem is. So instead, what you should do is you should ask questions, right? How long have you been looking for a pen? What types of pens do you normally buy? How much do you normally spend on a pen? Why do you need a new pen? If you had a new pen right now, what would that allow you to do? Right? You ask questions, and this gives the customer the opportunity to reveal their situation to you and tell you what their problem is. So a customer may say, I normally buy pens which are less than £10, and I don't use pens that often, but when I do, I use them to sign contracts in my office. I don't have a pen right now, so it means that I can't sign contracts in my office. Great. So you focus on the problem, you focus on the customer. Once you understand the situation and the problem, then you can start talking about the solution. Okay, well, that's great, because this pen is less than £10. And this pen will allow you to sign those contracts, and it also feels really nice in your hands. So when you're signing those contracts and you're feeling good about bringing all that money, it's going to make you feel even better, because your hand's going to be all silky smooth, or whatever, right? It's a silly example, but you get the point. You ask questions so that the customer highlights the problem and the situation to you, and then you flip that around and you provide them with the solution. And if there's a good fit, they will pay you for it. That is selling. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. You would be amazed how many people do not get this. So yeah, really try and get this deep in your mind, because everything else is built upon this. So we've covered the basics. In the next video, we're going to cover understanding the product and the market, and why this is so important, and how this really helps with sales. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you found this valuable, then please consider subscribing to the channel for more, and so that you don't miss part 2. Good luck. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you in the next video.